Wright smoothed her navy blue uniform for the 10th time in as many minutes. The large doors to the Galactic Council chambers loomed before her. They were carved from something that looked like marble, but shimmered with an inner light that no Earth material could produce. Beyond those doors sat the 12 most powerful species in the known galaxy, and they were about to judge humanity. "Ready, Commander?" asked Lieutenant Frank Miller, adjusting the diplomatic case containing Earth's formal petition. "As ready as we'll ever be," Olivia replied. Her voice remained steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. 50 years of faster-than-light travel had brought humanity to this moment. Earth needed recognition, trading rights, and protection under galactic law. The doors swung open silently. Olivia led her small team into a vast, circular chamber. 12 raised platforms formed a ring around them. On each platform sat representatives of the species that had governed interstellar politics for thousands of years before humans had even invented the wheel. The human delegation from the planet designated Earth may now address the Council, announced a tall, willowy being with skin like polished silver. Olivia stepped forward. "Honorable members of the Galactic Council, I bring greetings from United Earth. We come seeking recognition of our sovereign status and request trading rights within Council space." A rumble of what could only be described as laughter rippled through the chamber. The sound came from multiple species, some using vocal cords, others using vibrating membranes or telepathic projections of amusement. "The humans believe they are ready for Council recognition," said a massive creature covered in thick blue scales. Ambassador Records identified him as the Draconian representative. "How charming." "They have only achieved rudimentary faster-than-light travel," chirped a bird-like being with rainbow feathers. "Their ships are practically held together with tape and prayers." Olivia felt her face growing hot, but she maintained her diplomatic smile. "While our technology may be young compared to the distinguished council members, humans are quick learners. We offer unique perspectives and resources." "Unique?" interrupted a being composed of swirling gases contained in a transparent exosuit. "We have cataloged over 8,000 intelligent species. There is nothing unique about bipedal mammals with limited lifespans and fragile bodies." The criticism continued for nearly an hour. Each council member took turns pointing out human inadequacies. Their short lives, their aggressive tendencies, their technological backwardness, their biological limitations. The worst came from Arch-Consul Vexlor, the Zeltharian representative. The tall, gray-skinned humanoid stood and pointed a 6-fingered hand directly at Olivia. "Let us be clear," Vexlor said, his voice cold and precise. "You are barely evolved primates playing with toys you don't understand. The fact that you stumbled upon faster-than-light travel before destroying yourselves is nothing short of miraculous. But it does not qualify you for council membership." Olivia stood her ground. "With respect, Arch-Consul, humanity has overcome great challenges throughout our history. We request only the same opportunity that was once given to each of your species. And that opportunity will come," said the eldest council member, a small green being with enormous eyes. "In perhaps another 1,000 years, when you have proven yourselves worthy." The vote was quick and unanimous. Earth's petition was denied. Furthermore, human vessels would be restricted to their home system until the council deemed otherwise. Olivia and her team were escorted from the chambers. As the doors closed behind them, Lieutenant Miller kicked the wall in frustration. "Those arrogant aliens. They treated us like children," he said. "Worse than children," said Dr. Susan Lopes, the team's xenobiologist. "They treated us like pets." Olivia remained silent until they reached their ship. Once aboard, she removed her formal diplomatic sash and stared out the viewport at the gleaming spires of Nexus Prime, the Council's capital. "Set course for Earth," she finally said. "The President needs to hear about this personally." As their small vessel pulled away from the station, Olivia watched the massive alien ships that patrolled the area. Ships with technology centuries beyond Earth's current capabilities. "They won't be laughing forever," she said quietly. "I promise you that." 10 years passed since Commander Olivia Wright returned from the Galactic Council with Earth's rejection. 10 years that came to be known as the Silent Years. To the outside galaxy, it seemed humans had accepted their place in the cosmic order. Few alien traders visited the Sol system anymore. Those who did reported that humans were polite but distant, focusing on their own affairs. The galaxy moved on, forgetting about the unimportant apes on the edge of explored space. But beneath Earth's quiet surface, something remarkable was happening. Admiral Nathan Cole stood in the massive underground facility beneath the Mariana Trench. Around him, thousands of engineers and scientists worked in a hive of activity. The Admiral's weathered face showed the strain of sleepless nights, but his eyes burned with purpose. "How soon can we begin full production?" he asked, studying the holographic display. Dr. Eleanor Martinez adjusted her glasses and pointed to several sections of the schematic. "We've solved the power regulation issues with the shield generators. The prototypes are exceeding expectations. Give me 3 more months, and we can outfit the first 50 vessels." The Admiral nodded. Project Thunderbolt was humanity's response to galactic rejection. Not a single project, but hundreds working in concert. 10 years of reverse engineering alien technology from salvage debris. 10 years of innovation beyond anything humanity had achieved before. "And the weapon systems?" he asked. "Ready for testing," Dr. Martins replied. "We've managed to improve the original designs. These aren't copies of alien weapons. They're better." In another section of the facility, Colonel Alan Pierce led a team of military strategists. Wall-to-wall screens displayed thousands of battle records from various alien conflicts. Some footage was obtained legally through trading partners. Other footage came through less official channels. "The Zeltharians rely too heavily on overwhelming force," Colonel Pierce explained to his team. "They've never faced an enemy who could match their firepower, so they'd grown predictable. The Draconians, on the other hand, fight with more discipline, but their ships have a critical weakness in their propulsion systems." Day after day, the colonel studied every species, learning how they fought, how they thought, and most importantly, how they could be defeated. On the dark side of Europa, Jupiter's ice-covered moon, the shipyards hummed with activity. Hidden from prying eyes, humanity's first advanced battle fleet took shape. These weren't the clumsy vessels that had first ventured beyond the solar system. These ships incorporated technology that would shock the Galactic Council. Captain Sam Winters walked through the nearly completed U.S. Defiance. At 900 meters long, it was the largest warship humans had ever built. But size wasn't what made it special. "The gravity lance is installed and calibrated, Captain," reported Chief Engineer Kelly Daniels. "We can disable enemy ships without destroying them, just like you requested." "Perfect," said Captain Winters. "The Council thinks we're barbarians. Let's show them we can be merciful even in victory." Back on Earth, President Julia Bennett met with Ambassador Wright in the Oval Office. The former commander had been promoted after her return from Nexus Prime. "The Zeltharians are growing suspicious," Ambassador Wright said. "Their intelligence ships have been probing our outer system defenses." "Let them look," replied the president. "Our decoy facilities are giving them exactly what they expect to see, a primitive species nursing its wounded pride. And when do we reveal the truth?" The president stepped to the window, Looking up at the night sky, the Nephilim Battle Cruiser Squadron is scheduled to pass near Jupiter next month. According to our intelligence, they've been attacking unaligned species in that sector with impunity. If they follow their usual pattern, they'll consider our research outpost an easy target. Ambassador Wright finished. Yes, said the president with a grim smile. And then they'll discover just how much humanity has changed. The silent years were coming to an end, and the galaxy was not ready for what would follow. The research station near Jupiter's orbit was small but important. 20 scientists lived aboard, studying the unusual radiation patterns in that sector of space. They followed the rules set by the Galactic Council. Their ship had no weapons. They sent regular reports to Earth and kept to themselves. Dr. Peter Morgan was recording data when the station's sensors beeped. He looked up and felt his heart skip. A massive ship had appeared seemingly from nowhere. Its hull was black with red markings that resembled claw marks. Nephilim warship detected, announced the station's computer in a calm voice. Peter hit the emergency button. All personnel to safe rooms immediately. This is not a drill. The Nephilim were known throughout the galaxy as aggressive hunters. Tall and muscular with 4 arms and reptilian features, they served as enforcers for the Galactic Council. But they often acted on their own, attacking weaker species for sport. Human vessel, came a harsh voice over the communications system. This is War Commander Krex of the battle cruiser Blood Harvest. You are in violation of Council space restrictions. Dr. Lydia Chen, the station's director, opened a channel. This is Research Station Europa 7. We have permission from the Council for scientific study in this region. Our paperwork is in order. The alien commander laughed. It was an ugly sound. Permission revoked. The Nephilim claim this territory now. Prepare to be boarded. Those who resist will be killed. Those who submit will serve. The scientists looked at each other in horror. The Nephilim were going to attack regardless of council rules, and help was too far away. Or so they thought. Captain Sam Winters sat in the command chair of the U.S. Defiance, hidden behind Europa's shadow. For 10 years, humanity had prepared for this moment. The Nephilim ship has powered weapons, reported Lieutenant Emma Jones from the tactical station. They're targeting our research station. Captain Winters nodded. Exactly as predicted. Launch fighters. Power up all systems. It's time to introduce ourselves. The U.S. Defiance moved out from behind Europa. The ship was a dark gray with minimal external lights. Its sleek design hid the power within. On the Nephilim vessel, War Commander Krex received an urgent message from his sensor officer. Unknown ship approaching, the officer said with confusion. It's human, but our scanners can't penetrate its hull. Impossible, growled the commander. Human ships are primitive. Destroy it as a warning to the scientists. The Nephilim battle cruiser fired its main weapons. Red energy beams shot toward the Defiance. Captain Winters remained calm. Shields. The energy beams hit an invisible barrier and dissipated harmlessly. Inside the Defiance, no one felt even the slightest tremor. Return fire, ordered Captain Winters. Disable their weapons and engines only. The human ship fired blue pulses that struck with surgical precision. The Nephilim cruiser's weapons went dark. Its engines sputtered and died. War Commander Krex couldn't believe what he was seeing. His mighty ship, disabled by humans. Impossible. Get our systems back online, he roared. We can't, replied his engineer. They've used some kind of technology we've never seen before. Captain Winters opened a communication channel. Nephilim vessel, this is Captain Sam Winters of the United Earth ship Defiance. Your ship has been disabled but not destroyed. We could have eliminated you, but that's not our way." The Nephilim commander's face appeared on screen, his 4 eyes blinking in shock. "How? Humans are primitive," the council said. "The council was wrong," interrupted Captain Winters. "You will release your hold on our research station. Then you will return to your territory with a message. Earth is no longer defenseless. The next aggressor will not receive such mercy." The disabled Nephilim ship was allowed to limp away. The research station was saved. Within hours, the U.S. Defiance vanished back to its hidden base. But the message had been delivered. Across subspace communications, word began to spread. Humans had technology that could defeat a Nephilim battle cruiser. The impossible had happened. The Galactic Council called an emergency session. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with nervous energy. Representatives from all 12 species spoke in hushed tones. The Nephilim delegate stood before them, his pride visibly wounded. "The human vessel disabled the blood harvest in seconds," he admitted. "Our weapons had no effect on their shields." "Impossible," said Arch-Consul Vexlor of the Zeltharians. "Perhaps your crew was incompetent." "My warriors are the finest in the quadrant," the Nephilim snarled. "The humans have developed technology beyond what we believed possible." "One ship does not make them a threat," said the Draconian representative. "It was likely a fluke." The debate might have continued, but an aide rushed into the chamber. "Urgent transmission," he announced. "It's being broadcast on all frequencies throughout Council space." The main screen activated. The image showed Earth's orbit filled with ships. Not the crude vessels of 10 years ago, but sleek warships with designs that made even the most advanced Council members take notice. Admiral Nathan Cole stood on the bridge of the flagship U.S. Sentinel. His uniform was crisp, his expression confident. "Greetings to all worlds receiving this transmission. I am Admiral Nathan Cole of the United Earth Space Command. For 10 years, we have respected the Council's decision to confine us to our system. During that time, we have not been idle." The camera panned out to show 50 warships in perfect formation. They moved in unison, demonstrating precision that spoke of extensive training. "Today, we announce our presence as a sovereign power in this galaxy. We seek neither conquest nor conflict, but we will defend ourselves and our interests." The transmission shifted to show Dr. Eleanor Martinez in a laboratory. She stood beside a device that hummed with blue energy. "This is our gravity lance technology," she explained. "It can disable enemy ships without destruction. Unlike some species, we prefer not to kill when unnecessary." The Council members watched in stunned silence as human ships demonstrated weapons and defenses that matched or exceeded their own capabilities. Technology that should have taken centuries to develop. How did they advance so quickly? The Eldar representative wondered aloud. "They must have stolen the designs," Vexlor insisted. The transmission returned to Admiral Cole. "In 1 hour, the diplomatic vessel will arrive at Nexus Prime. Our ambassador will present Earth's terms for peaceful coexistence. We trust the Council will receive her with the respect due to equals." The transmission ended. The Council erupted into chaos. "We cannot allow this," shouted Vexlor. "These humans were nothing a decade ago. If we acknowledge them now, every minor species will think they can defy Council authority. But if their technology is as advanced as it appears," said the gaseous Nebulon representative, "we may have no choice." "We have a choice," Vexlor said, his voice cold. "We crush them now, before they grow stronger." The Galactic Council took a vote. 7 species voted for diplomatic engagement. 2 abstained. 3, the Zeltharians, the Nephilim, and the Draconians, voted for immediate military action. Ambassador Olivia Wright arrived exactly 1 hour later as promised. Her small shuttle was escorted by 2 human warships that took up position near the Council station. Their presence was both protection and statement. She walked into the Council chamber with her head held high, so different from her last visit. The same representatives who had mocked humanity now watched her with wary eyes. "Distinguished Council members," she began, "Earth offers a simple arrangement. We will respect established orders and laws. In return, we expect the same courtesy. We seek trade, cultural exchange, and eventually, a seat on this council." Vexlor stood. "And if we refuse?" Ambassador Wright met his gaze calmly. "Then we will establish our own alliances with like-minded species. The galaxy is changing, Archconsul. The Council can change with it or be left behind." The Zeltharian's face darkened with rage. "This is a threat." "No," Wright replied. "It's an invitation to a new era. The choice is yours." As the Council debated, Vexlor slipped away to send a private transmission to the Zeltharian fleet. Diplomacy had failed. Now was the time for action. Earth's lunar colony gleamed under the stars. 60,000 people lived and worked in the domed cities built across the moon's surface. They were scientists, engineers, and families who had made the satellite their home. None of them expected an attack. Not so soon. Not so suddenly. Alarms blared throughout Lunar City 1. Emergency lights flashed red. Multiple ships appearing from hyperspace announced the colony's defense officer. Zeltharian signatures confirmed. Governor Howard Clark watched the screens with growing dread. 20 Zeltharian warships approached, their weapon systems hot. "This is Commander Drez of the Zeltharian Empire," came a harsh voice over the communications system. "Your illegal military buildup threatens galactic security. Surrender your colony or face destruction." The governor looked at his staff. They had practiced drills for this scenario, but facing actual alien warships was terrifying. "Activate defense grid," the governor ordered, "and send the emergency signal to Earth." "But sir, our defenses can't stop that many ships," his security chief protested. "Maybe not," the governor replied. "But we don't need to stop them. We just need to slow them down." The lunar defense grid activated. Invisible to the naked eye, a web of energy surrounded the moon. It wasn't meant for extended battle, but it would buy precious time. The Zeltharian ships fired. Energy beams struck the defensive shield. The colony shook, but held. Commander Drez frowned. His intelligence had suggested the lunar colony was lightly defended. "Increase power to forward batteries," he ordered. "Break through their shields." Back on Earth, Colonel Alan Pierce received the emergency signal. Within minutes, he was in the war room with Admiral Cole and President Bennett. "The Zeltharians have attacked the moon," Pierce reported. "Defense grid is holding for now, but it won't last long against that many ships." Admiral Cole nodded grimly. "This is what we prepared for. Launch Operation Reckoning." Throughout the solar system, hidden human ships powered up. Military bases that had remained cloaked for years revealed themselves. Earth's full defense network came online. Lieutenant Ryan Blackwood and his tactical team boarded their stealth ship. The unit consisted of 12 soldiers specially trained for space combat. Their mission was the most dangerous: infiltrate the Zeltharian command ship while the main fleet engaged the enemy. "Remember," Lieutenant Blackwood told his team, "we're looking for intelligence, not revenge. Get in, download their computer core, get out." On the moon, the shields began to fail. The colonists retreated to underground bunkers, praying help would arrive in time. Shield integrity at 20%, reported the defense officer. Breach imminent. Commander Drez smiled in satisfaction. Prepare landing parties. Take prisoners for questioning about human military capabilities. But before the shields could fail completely, new signals appeared on the Zeltharian scanners. Commander, multiple ships approaching at high speed. 6 human warships emerged from Earth's shadow, moving faster than any vessels the Zeltharians had ever encountered. At their head flew the U.S. Defiance, Captain Sam Winters in command. This is Captain Winters to all Zeltharian vessels. You are engaged in an unprovoked attack against a civilian colony. Cease fire immediately or face the consequences. Commander Dress laughed. 6 ships against 20. Your bravery is admirable but foolish, human. Perhaps, replied Captain Winters. But technology beats numbers. The human ships launched their attack. Unlike the Zeltharians, who relied on overwhelming firepower, the Earth vessels used precision and speed. They darted between the larger alien ships, firing gravity lances that disabled engines and weapon systems. Lieutenant Blackwood's stealth ship slipped through the chaos undetected. They attached to the hull of the Zeltharian command ship and cut their way inside. Within 30 minutes, 15 Zeltharian vessels drifted powerless. 3 had retreated. 2 had been destroyed when their captains had chosen to overload their cores rather than be captured. As Lieutenant Blackwood's team downloaded vital intelligence from the Zeltharian computers, they discovered something chilling: detailed plans for a genocide campaign against humans. The Zeltharians hadn't just wanted to contain Earth. They wanted to eliminate humans entirely. The human ships withdrew after neutralizing the threat, leaving the disabled Zeltharian vessels to be collected by their own rescue ships. The message was clear. Humans could have destroyed them all, but chose mercy instead. The first battle was over. The war had just begun. The Galactic Council chambers were no longer a place of order and dignity. Representatives shouted over one another. Some demanded action against the Zeltharians for their unauthorized attack. Others called for sanctions against Earth for their military buildup. The unity that had held the galaxy together for thousands of years was crumbling. Ambassador Olivia Wright stood in the center, waiting for the chaos to subside. In her hand, she held a data crystal containing the evidence recovered by Lieutenant Blackwood's team. Esteemed representatives, she said when the noise finally died down, I present evidence that the Zeltharian Empire has been planning genocide against humanity for years. She inserted the crystal into the Council's main computer. Images appeared on the large screen. Detailed plans for the systematic extermination of humans throughout the galaxy. These documents were recovered from the command ship that led the attack on our lunar colony, she explained. They prove that Arch-Consul Vexilor has been deceiving this council for years. The Zeltharian representative rose in fury. This is fabricated. Humans are masters of deception. The data carries authentication codes that can be verified by any council member. Ambassador Wright replied calmly, We invite independent examination. The council broke into 3 distinct groups. The Hardliners, led by the Zeltharians, demanded immediate action to contain the human threat. The Pragmatists recognized humanity's strength and sought alliance. The Neutrals feared involvement in what could become a devastating war. Grand Elder Xylos of the Eldar, the oldest species on the council, requested a private meeting with a human representative. Dr. Eleanor Martinez was sent to meet with him in the ancient gardens of Nexus Prime. The small green-skinned elder studied Dr. Martinez with enormous eyes that had witnessed millennia of galactic history. In all my years, he said in a soft voice, I have never seen a species advance so quickly. It defies all evolutionary patterns. Dr. Martinez smiled. We were always underestimated. When the Council rejected us, it only made us more determined. You created in 10 years what takes most species centuries. Tylos observed. Your adaptability is unique. Necessity drives innovation, she replied. When faced with extinction, humans become remarkably creative. The elder nodded thoughtfully. The Zeltharians fear this quality in your species. They prefer predictable enemies. You are anything but predictable. While this conversation occurred, the Council held a tense vote on whether to declare war against Earth. The evidence of Zeltharian genocide plans had shocked many representatives. The vote was close. 7 against war, 5 for war. Arch-Consul Vexilor stormed out of the chambers. The Council has grown weak and cowardly, he hissed to his aides. If they will not act, the Zeltharian Empire will protect the galaxy from this human infection alone. On Earth, President Bennett received the news of the Council's vote with relief, but not celebration. They've rejected war for now, she told her advisors. But Vexilor won't give up so easily. Admiral Cole nodded in agreement. Intelligence reports indicate the Zeltharians are marshalling their fleet. They called in ships from all their colonies. How many vessels are we talking about? Asked the president. At least 200 warships, replied Colonel Pierce. They're preparing for a major offensive. Then we must be ready, said the president. Deploy the fleet according to Operation Reckoning. Phase 2. Throughout human-controlled space, warships moved into defensive positions. The U.S. Defiance and 5 other advanced vessels took up station near Proxima Centauri, the closest star system to Earth. Captain Winters knew they would likely face the first wave of any Zeltharian attack. On the diplomatic front, Ambassador Wright continued meeting with individual council members. Several smaller species, impressed by humanity's restraint during the lunar battle, expressed interest in mutual defense agreements. The galaxy was realigning itself, with humanity emerging as a significant power almost overnight. No one realized that Vexilor's plans were far more treacherous than a direct assault on Earth. The Zeltharians were preparing to attack neutral council worlds and blame humanity for the destruction. The peaceful Eldar colony world of Serenity burned. Zeltharian warships bombarded its cities from orbit, their weapons showing no mercy. Similar attacks happened simultaneously across 5 other neutral worlds. Millions of innocent beings died in the first hour alone. Send the distress signal, ordered the Eldar governor as his palace crumbled around him. Tell them it's the humans. What the governor didn't know was that his communications officer lay dead, killed by a Zeltharian agent who had infiltrated the colony months ago. The actual distress signal that went out across the galaxy told the truth. Zeltharians were attacking neutral worlds without provocation. On Earth, emergency alarms woke Admiral Cole from a rare moment of sleep. Sir, we're receiving distress calls from multiple council worlds, reported his aide. The Zeltharians are attacking civilian targets across the neutral sectors. The Admiral was fully alert instantly. Are any human ships in those areas? No, sir. Our fleet is still in defensive positions in our sector. Admiral Cole rushed to the war room where President Bennett and her cabinet had already gathered. The large screen showed a map of the galaxy with red dots indicating attack sites. They're targeting council members who voted against war with us, observed Colonel Pierce, trying to eliminate the voices of reason. President Bennett's face was grim. If we do nothing, those civilizations will be wiped out. If we intervene, we risk all-out galactic war. The room fell silent. The decision weighed heavily on everyone present. We didn't build this fleet just to protect ourselves, Admiral Cole finally said. If we stand by while innocents are slaughtered, we're no better than the Zeltharians. The President nodded. Deploy all available ships. Operation Reckoning is now in full effect. Throughout the solar system, humanity's full military might revealed itself. 120 warships emerged from hidden bases and shipyards. They formed up into battle groups and jumped to faster-than-light speed, racing to aid the worlds under attack. Captain Lisa Rodriguez commanded the carrier U.S. Thunderchild. Her ship led a group of 15 vessels toward the Eldar homeworld. Time to target, she asked her navigation officer. 20 minutes at maximum speed, Captain. Captain Rodriguez studied the tactical display. The Eldar homeworld was surrounded by 30 Zeltharian ships. The beautiful crystal cities that had stood for thousands of years were being systematically destroyed. Launch all fighters as soon as we exit FTL, she ordered. Priority is civilian evacuation. When the human fleet arrived, they found chaos. The Zeltharians, not expecting interference, had spread their forces thin to attack multiple targets. This gave humanity's smaller fleet a tactical advantage. The U.S. Thunderchild's fighters swept in, providing cover for evacuation ships. Meanwhile, the main fleet engaged the Zeltharian warships with precise, coordinated attacks. Admiral Cole's innovative three-dimensional battle tactics confused the enemy forces. The Zeltharians were accustomed to fighting in traditional formations. The human ships attacked from all angles, using the gravity of nearby planets and moons to execute maneuvers that seemed to defy physics. On Nexus Prime, the Galactic Council watched in amazement as human forces arrived to defend worlds that were not their allies. The tactical displays showed human ships evacuating civilians before engaging enemy vessels. They fight to protect others, not just themselves, observed Grand Elder Vilos. This is not the behavior of conquerors. Lieutenant Blackwood and his Special Forces team dropped onto the surface of Nexus Prime. The Zeltharians had launched a ground assault on the Council headquarters itself. The human soldiers fought their way through the city, extracting Council representatives who had been trapped when the attack began. "Why are you helping us?" asked a wounded Nebulon delegate as Blackwood carried him to safety. "Many of us voted against your species." "Because that's what humans do," Blackwood replied simply. "We help those in need, even if they aren't our friends." Above the Council world, the massive Zeltharian flagship Eternal Dominion appeared. On its bridge stood Arch-Consul Vexlor himself, determined to destroy the Council and blame humanity for its fall. But waiting for him was the U.S. Defiance. Captain Sam Winters had anticipated this move. The two most advanced ships in the galaxy faced each other, preparing for a battle that would determine the future of interstellar civilization. The battle for Nexus Prime lasted 3 days. 3 days of desperate fighting in space and on the ground. 3 days that would reshape galactic history forever. The U.S. Defiance and the Zeltharian flagship Eternal Dominion circled each other like ancient warriors. Each ship represented the pinnacle of their civilization's technology. "Target their weapon systems," ordered Captain Sam Winters. "Disable, don't destroy." "Sir, they're powering up something big," reported his tactical officer. "Energy readings off the charts." The Eternal Dominion fired a beam of pure energy that cut through space itself. The Defiance barely managed to dodge. "They're targeting the Council chambers," said the officer in horror. "If that hits..." Captain Winters made a split-second decision. Intercept course. Full power to forward shields. The U.S. Defiance moved between the Zeltharian ship and the planet below. The next energy beam struck the human vessel directly. The ship shuddered violently. "Shields holding at 20%, reported the engineer. "We can't take another hit like that." "We won't need to," replied Winters. "Execute Phoenix Protocol." Throughout the human fleet, a coded message spread. Ships broke off their individual battles and converged on Nexus Prime. They formed a perfect sphere around the Eternal Dominion, each vessel linking its shields with the others. On the Zeltharian flagship, Arch-Consul Vexlor watched in confusion. "What are they doing?" he demanded. "Destroy them all." His weapons officer fired desperately, but the human ships held position. Their linked shields created an impenetrable barrier. Lieutenant Ryan Blackwood and his team had completed their mission on the surface. Council members were safe. Now they had one final task. Their stealth ship docked with the Eternal Dominion, undetected in the chaos of battle. "Remember," Blackwood told his team, "we want Vexlor alive to answer for his crimes." They fought their way to the bridge against elite Zeltharian guards. Not all of the human soldiers survived, but they pressed forward with grim determination. When they finally reached the bridge, Arch-Consul Vexlor stood waiting, energy weapon in hand. "You primitives think you've won," he snarled. "Even if I fall, others will rise. Humanity will never be accepted in this galaxy." "Maybe," replied Lieutenant Blackwood, "but we'll keep trying anyway." The final battle was brief. Vexlor fought fiercely, but was ultimately captured. The Eternal Dominion, its leadership gone, surrendered to the human fleet. 3 weeks later, a new session of the Galactic Council convened. The chamber had been rebuilt, more beautiful than before. Representatives from all species gathered. But this time, a new seat had been added to the circle. Ambassador Olivia Wright took her place as humanity's first council member. The same aliens who had once laughed at her now regarded her with respect, and, in some cases, friendship. Grand Elder Xylos spoke first. "For thousands of years, this council has guided the galaxy. Today, we acknowledge our failure. We allowed prejudice and fear to blind us to the potential of a new species. The Zeltharian Empire faced justice for its crimes. Arch-Consul Vexlor and his commanders were tried and imprisoned. Their empire was placed under council supervision, its military dismantled. A new galactic charter was drafted, with Ambassador Wright leading the committee. The document emphasized cooperation, mutual defense, and technological exchange among all species. Admiral Nathan Cole established an interspecies military academy on Europa. Officers from throughout the galaxy came to learn from each other and build trust. Dr. Eleanor Martinez headed a scientific exchange program that brought together the brightest minds from dozens of worlds. Together, they began solving problems that affected multiple species, from curing diseases to developing cleaner energy sources. Above the entrance to the council chambers, a new inscription was carved in the languages of all member species. Strength lies not in superiority, but in unity and understanding. Captain Sam Winters received a new command. The U.S. Harmony, the first ship built jointly by humans and other council races. Its crew included members from 8 different species, working together as equals. As the Harmony prepared for its maiden voyage to explore uncharted space, Captain Winters looked at his diverse bridge crew and smiled. "Not bad for a species of barely evolved primates," he said, remembering the insult from 10 years ago. His Eldar navigation officer tilted her head curiously. "I don't understand, Captain." "Just an old joke," Winters replied. "Set course for the unknown. Let's see what we can discover together." The ship jumped to faster than light speed, carrying with it the hope for a new era of galactic peace. an era where no species would be.